Has Milei's chainsaw politics actually fixed things and pulled Argentina out of a recession? We'll see that in a minute. Guys, as always, welcome to the channel. If you want to learn more about this sort of thing, specifically Surviving the Economic Collapse is my book. You have it available in the links there below, as well as Street Survival Skills. These two will help you get a lot better prepared for realistic preparedness. That's the topic that we mostly address here. Let's check this thing out.
Story is about Argentina. The country has seen a massive economic turnaround. After almost a year, Argentina has exited a recession. Their GDP rose by 3.9% in the last quarter, the July to September quarter. This is the first time in about a year that they've seen growth, the first time since the recession began. Do you know what else happened about a year ago? Javier Milei became the president of Argentina. He assumed office on December 10, 2023. He came to power promising radical reform. He promised to take a chainsaw to the government, cut jobs, regulations and excess spending. Milei actually campaigned with a real chainsaw to drive the point home, and it won him the election. But Milei was written off when he took office. He was seen as too radical, too chaotic. But now it seems that his plan is working. He announced the end of the recession a week ago, on the first anniversary of his presidency. Take a look.
Today, with pride and hope, I can tell you that we have passed the test of fire. We are leaving the desert. The recession is over, and the country has finally begun to grow. Thank you for trusting this government.
Before Milei took over, Argentina was in a doom spiral. Annual inflation was almost 200%. Milei has been chipping away at this too. Inflation is still ridiculously high in this country at about 166%, but last month it grew by just 2.4%. That's the lowest in over 4 years. Before he was sworn in, prices were rising by almost 13% every single month. 13%. So 2.4% is a massive improvement. Now combine this with Argentina coming out of recession, and Milei seems to have achieved the impossible. He says it's all because of his chainsaw.
We reduced the number of ministries from 18 to 8. We eliminated nearly 100 secretariats and undersecretaries. We closed more than 200 areas that had duplicate or obsolete functions. We froze the salaries of high-ranking officials from January until now. We fired 34,000 public employees and are testing the qualifications of the others.
Basically, he made Argentina's government more efficient by cutting away excess jobs. Does that?
It's not only excess jobs, cutting a lot of people that were not even working. This is very typical in many parts of the world, unfortunately, mostly in the third world, but in Argentina it was certainly the case that you had thousands of people that were listed as employees, never showed up, they never even worked there. These are called gnocchis. Gnocchi is the traditional food, like a little little gnocchi pasta, or anyway, it's a food that's usually served on the 28th, 29th, right? And that's because of the date of the month. You just show up for the 29th to just collect your wage. That's the only thing you do. You don't actually go to work. So all of these gnocchis, all of these people that didn't actually work were listed as employees, and they were getting a salary. And yeah, you have thousands of those that you fire, but you're actually just getting rid of people that are making money and just getting a wage when they're not even working.
That concept sound familiar? It should, at least to the people of the US, because that's exactly what Donald Trump is gearing up to do. He is bringing in DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. It will be led by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. Both men admire Javier Milei's approach. Ramaswamy even said that he wants, and I'm quoting, Milei-style cuts on steroids. And Trump himself has praised Javier Milei. He's also invited the Argentinian president to his inauguration. So both Milei and Mileinomics.
So Milei-style cuts on steroids. That's a pretty high. Yeah, I don't know if they'll be able to do that. That's a very, and especially with a government the size of the United States, you have so much bureaucracy, so much waste in that government that it would be admirable if he does in proportion half of what Milei has done in terms of cutting back and just removing entire ministries and agencies that should not even exist at all. How much of that he will actually be able to, we will have to wait and see.
Are about to come to the US. But that's not all. He's found fans in Vietnam too. This country has a communist government. They too are planning to cut ministries to reduce red tape. So by the looks of it, Mileinomics is here to stay. It might radically transform governments around the world and fix ingrained economic issues. But despite its success in Argentina, it also has a dark side. The economic turnaround has come at a price.
My in-laws are retired, and the truth is that they are not having a very good time. My partner helps them. We live together and it's difficult. The rent has gone up again. Yes, it's complicated.
Milei cut spending on a lot of social services. He eliminated subsidies on public transport, heating, groceries. He also got rid of price controls. So while inflation has fallen, some basic costs have risen sharply. And this has pushed 5 million Argentinians into poverty. When Milei took over, 40% of the people were in poverty. In 6 months, that figure rose to 53%. But the president says things will get better. He's been saying this since he took charge.
While we will have to endure a period of hardship, we will get through. There is no night that has not been defeated by the day.
The dawn seems to be breaking. The recession has ended. Inflation is down, and there is hope in the Argentinian economy again. But is this economy working for everyone? Are the people pushed into poverty willing to give Milei more time? He has midterm elections coming up next year, and that will give us an answer. We'll see if people really support Mileinomics, or if the pill proves to be too bitter to swallow.
Yeah, that's a great point. So we'll see next year. The poverty has risen a lot, and Argentina cannot afford to have more poor people. But what's the solution? More handouts? More? Well, it is definitely something that needed to be done. Lots of the cuts, lots of the chainsaw that Milei brought along, but it needs to start showing results, and it needs to start showing those results very soon, because really people can't hold on much longer. See you next time, guys. Take care.